Hello, welcome to the Word Cafe podcast. This podcast has been designed with curated content that centers on the power of words. Can we really do anything without speaking? Can we really do anything without the agency of words? Yes, that is what this podcast is all about. And I am your host, Amakri Isoboye, your neighborhood word trader. I believe in the power of words, for it is the unit of creation. I trade in words to profit my world. Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Yes, we're back on the Word Cafe live show. How you all doing? Beautiful. Yes, today we are here again to celebrate life, victory, success, and what have you. Have a wonderful individual, on the show today. He's here to share with us his success story, to inspire a good number of us, if not all of us out there, with respect to resilience, pursuing your dream, and becoming all that you desire to be. Who's this guy, you're wondering? Well, don't worry, I'll bring him up in a bit. His name is already there on the screen, Jesse Iwuji. We'll get to hear more from him. All right, then, enough of that. Let me bring him. Oh, yes, there he is. Hi, Jesse.
How's it going?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing good.
All right, then. All right. I was going through your profile before I brought you on. I would like to say one or two things, and I'll let you do the honors as in introduce yourself. Tell the house who Jesse is and all that. Well, guys, how best can I describe him? When I checked him out, he's a bundle of so much energy. That's how I'm going to describe him. He's into NASCAR racing, he's into movies, he's a naval officer. What else? A TV personality and all that. Wonderful, and also he's a Nigerian. That's what caught my attention. Hi, JC. Welcome to the Word Cafe live show. Welcome. So, who is JC Iwuji in your own voice now?
In my own voice. So I am, I guess, a person who has a lot of different things they're doing. I live in the U.S. I'm actually in California right now, but I grew up in Dallas, Texas. Both of my parents are immigrants from Nigeria. So they immigrated from Nigeria to the U.S. back in the early 80s before settling in Dallas, Texas, and having me and my two brothers and my sister. And as we grew up in Dallas, we played sports. We played sports in middle school and high school. And the sport that I naturally gravitated to first was football, American football. So I played American football, got better and better and better in high school. And, over here, if you get pretty good at a sport, you can get a scholarship to go play at the universities. So there was a few universities that were recruiting me for scholarships. And the best one that I was looking at was the United States Naval Academy. So I just looked at that opportunity as a really good one to go to a great school, get a great education, play football for a great team. And then also when I graduate from the Naval Academy, I would become a officer in the Navy. So it was just a good opportunity, free school, and you have a career right after you graduate. It's perfect. So I took that opportunity. I went to the U.S. Naval Academy from 2006 to 2010, played football there in sports all 4 years, graduated in 2010 and became a surface warfare officer in the Navy. So as a surface warfare officer, I was on the ships. I was on a minesweeper first, and then I was on an amphibious ship, the second for my second ship. And I went on deployments with both of these ships. I spent about over 15 months out at sea and overseas, going to the Arabian Gulf and going to Asia, going to all these different places. And during that time, I learned a lot about, just growing as a person in the Navy. And then when I got back from some of those deployments back home to the U.S., when I would have free time on the weekends, I was developing this passion for auto racing. And I had always had that passion since I was a kid, but I never really got to do it until I finally had some money to do it. So I bought a really fast car. I bought a sports car. It was a Corvette, and I would
Mm.
take that Corvette to tracks in Southern
Okay.
California, and I would go to these tracks and do these open track days where anybody could bring their vehicle to the track. And after a few years of doing that, I finally got better and better and better at driving on track, which led me to eventually want to become a professional driver. So I looked at the opportunity to try to find a way into racing, and I started working on figuring out how to gain the resources necessary to race. I had to find the
Okay.
money, I had to find the
Yeah.
time, I had to get the training to even learn how to drive a race car. I had to figure
Yeah.
out all that stuff, right? You gotta be resourceful, right? It's just like anything. If you want to get into anything
Oh,
in life, you got to become resourceful. So I
yeah.
became as resourceful as possible, and eventually worked my way into lower level racing, and then started working my way up to different ranks of racing. And while doing it, I started, a few businesses along the way. I was able to figure out how to become an entrepreneur. I was still serving in the Navy. I was driving race cars. I was doing all this stuff. So all this is just stuff I just learned along the way, and it's what's allowed me to really grow and advance my life. It hasn't been easy at all. It can be very tiring. It can be very difficult. But in life, as long as you continue to push forward and try to achieve big things, that's what keeps you going and keeps you alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been able to do. And now I'm racing
Yeah.
professionally in NASCAR.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Listening to you is like you got it all figured out. Something like that. Like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. And this is how I'm going to go about it. And somehow it's like boom, boom, boom. You're just like checking the list and all and all and all. But one thing, when I checked up your profile and I saw the face NASCAR, when it comes to driving or all the sporting or whatever, you rarely see blacks participating there, fully. But seeing you like you're in it, like how did you discover that passion? How?
Yeah, there isn't a lot of African Americans participating in professional motorsports. Why? There's a lot of barriers. It's tough. It's different than other sports. Like say, for example, like soccer, right? Soccer, you can go buy a soccer ball at the store for fairly cheap. You can go to a field and you can practice. It doesn't cost any money for you to go run and get in shape. It doesn't cost any money for you to learn how to kick the ball. It doesn't cost any money for you to, go practice, you can go make your own goal and go practice on that every day. It doesn't cost money to do that. But imagine racing, right? To go get a race car and practice, you got to buy the race car, right? Or rent one, right? That's expensive. You got to go rent the track or buy a track. That's expensive. You have to get the people who can work on the car and get it to be as fast as possible. That's expensive. The shop, the time, like everything. It's a lot of money to even just drive a race car. So I think that's what keeps a lot of African Americans away from it, is because sometimes maybe they can't figure out that way to find the financial resources to make it happen. So then they go after other things where it doesn't cost money, like basketball, soccer, football, whatever other sports we play, where all that stuff where it's not expensive. Now there are expensive ways of playing soccer, right? You can go get really good trainers and you can do the travel team thing, and it costs money, but for the most part you can go get better for fairly cheap compared to racing, which just costs a lot of money. So that's the tough part right there, and that's why you don't see a lot of African Americans in it. I had to figure out how to find the money, but not everyone can figure that out.
Well, now I think you just put it in perspective. Now, I didn't see it that way, but like breaking it down, what it takes to do X is not what it takes to do Y. And now it's very clear. Now you talked about your parents. I saw it on your page. You never stop talking about your mom, your dad. Being immigrants and all that. I saw the picture of your mom, the early days. Then when she came to the US, Dallas, and the house and everything. What was it like? I want to believe they shared one or two stories with you. What was it like? If you don't mind sharing it with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my mom and my dad, both of them very hard workers. My dad was the one who first came over here to the US, and he had to work very hard just to even establish a foundation here so that he could be able to go marry my mom and bring her back here and start a family here. So both of my
Hmm.
parents worked really hard to make that happen. My mom, her journey in life from when she was a kid to even getting here was also very difficult. As coming from Nigeria in the villages, they don't have a lot to start. They sometimes
Yeah.
start with very, very humble situations, and don't have a lot of money or a lot of resources, but a lot of Africans know how to fight, right? They know how to fight forward. They
They
know how
do.
to
They
go after
do.
what they want, and they don't give up very easy, and they're very stubborn, which is good.
I agree with that.
If you're going after big goals and dreams, you have to be stubborn. You have to be so stubborn that you don't believe that you can fail, and that's what it takes to go after anything in life. So that's what they did. And they were, too stubborn to believe that it was difficult to get to the U.S. So they found a way to
Hmm.
get to the U.S. And from there, they
Exactly.
started building their life. They built businesses. They have great careers that they built too. They just worked really hard. And through that is what, through that hard work and the action that they put in to build their life, that
Mhm.
really kind of resonated on us. Me and my two brothers and my sister, we learned from that and we applied that to our lives so that we could build our lives as well.
Beautiful. So your siblings, what are they up to? What are they into? Are they like you into one sporting activity or the other, or they're into business or something?
So both of my brothers were also athletes as well. They played
Mhm.
American football as well, and they played in middle school, high school, and in college. They both got full scholarships to play at the universities. And then my sister, she played all different kind of sports: basketball, volleyball, track, and then she got
Mhm.
recruited by Arkansas State University. She got a full scholarship to run track at
Okay.
Arkansas State University. So she went there as well. All of them graduated from their schools. My sister is now a nurse. Both of my brothers are sales for these medical device companies. They're both doing
Mhm.
well. And then all of us have also started different businesses and have different businesses that we partner up with and run. So we're doing everything we can to just keep building our lives. Never
Mhm.
stops, never ends. You just keep grinding and finding new ways to advance in this world, because we live in a very ever-changing world where things are changing constantly. So you got to keep up with it.
Now, I think you're more so much into business, as in no matter what everything you've been saying, like you have this business aspect coming into it, going into enterprise and all that. How did it all begin? Is it something that came from your parents rubbing off on you, or is something that you just, a passion you picked on along the way?
I think when we were younger, we all probably thought in our minds that we'd have our own businesses at some point. Wasn't something that I felt like I was dreaming about all the time. It was just kind of
Mm.
there's a necessity for achieving
Mhm.
other things I needed to achieve in life. When I wanted to get into racing, like I mentioned before, there's a financial side of it. You need money to make it happen. Well, me being an officer in the Navy, I got paid good money, but it wasn't enough to pay for the racing I was going to get into. So in my mind, I was like, okay, if I don't make enough money from the Navy to get into racing, how else can I make extra money? So I decided to start a business on the side of being an officer. And that business, while it ran, it made me the extra money I needed to get into racing. So really, me getting into business was like a necessity. And then once I got into it, I think it showed my brothers and my sister that it was all possible to get into business as well. So I shared my advice with them on how to get into things and how to build a business and how to run businesses. And then both of my brothers jumped in on the businesses that I had. My sister and her husband, they started their own, and we all have jobs and businesses, and we all just work and try to build that from there. Eventually, the businesses will run themselves, and we don't have to put in a lot of work at that point.
You want to achieve something, and you begin to like make those excuses, like I don't have this, I don't have that. But from what you have said now, it's like I need to. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to become. But somehow I need to also deploy myself in certain activities to create the necessary, should I say, resource or
Resources,
resources.
yes.
Like
Hmm.
exactly, Bantulos, Finance, the other. Beautiful, beautiful. So what's the future for you? Because I see I mean, there's a lot happening already. Because after this, it's like you have another interview to my catch up with. So what's the future for you now? What's happening? What's the
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah, so this year we debuted our new racing team in NASCAR. Me, Emmett Smith, who was a Hall of Fame running back in the NFL from the NFL, him and also two other partners. We all jumped in to start our own racing team. So we're going to build this racing team to a bigger one as years come. We're going to build it to a successful racing team. Outside of that, I want to continue to build my businesses from the racing events company that I have, the esports company that I have, the real estate company that I have, and I've dived into other things too as well. But I want to build all that on the business side of things. And then, I'm really into film and film production and all that stuff. So one day I can see myself being on big films. I'd like to,
big screen now.
big screen, whether it's the Avengers or Fast and Furious or Transformers. Good. I don't know, something big action films or sci-fi. Like that's what I'm into. So I'm not really into anything else. Not like any drama stuff or anything like that.
Do you have any plan? Did you have any plan as in investing in Nigeria or in Africa with respect to what you do now?
Real estate, yeah. Real estate. I definitely want to do some real estate investing in Nigeria for sure. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And then as time goes and things get better there and infrastructure gets better, it'll be even better. But definitely want to invest there for sure.
So are you married now, JC?
Will be soon.
You want to share that with us, a little bit on that?
Yeah. Got engaged at the end of 2020, December 2020, and then looking to get that all finalized here soon. So, it should be fun and a new journey in life.
Congrats on that.
A new fun journey.
Yeah, it is. Now, for your age and for what you do, what do you have to say to the young people out there, like to encourage them with respect to pursuing your dream, career-wise, and all?
For young people looking to really grow their life, whatever goal you're going after in life, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. Don't expect that it's just going to happen in one day. Don't expect that it's going to happen in 1 week. Don't expect that it's going to happen sometimes even in 1 year. Sometimes it just takes time, but as long as you're willing to put in the effort on a daily basis, no matter what happens, good or bad, put in an effort every day, figure out ways to be creative every day, figure out ways to pivot if you need to pivot every day, figure out ways to not get bitter, but get better on a daily basis. And then don't let the negative voices out there who are going to tell you can't do it. Don't let them seep into your head. Push those people away and continue to focus on what you know is true. And what's true is that the vision that God put in your head, that's where you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to do. So continue to follow it every single day. If you go against that vision, then you're really telling God that he doesn't know what he's doing, and that's not good. So if he puts a vision in your head on where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to accomplish, you have to go after it every single day. You cannot give up on it because it's meant to be. You just have to be strong enough to fight through the stuff that will happen along the way.
Awesome. Jason, thank you for this time. I know you have another activity to catch up with in the next 5-10 minutes. I want to say a very big thank you. But before I let you go, what's that encouraging word you have for my audience?
I would say encouraging word is, no matter what you're going through in life, as difficult as it might be, just remember that life rewards those who stay strong enough, long enough.
Life rewards those who stay
strong enough, long enough.
Guys, we've been discussing with Jesse Iwuji. I'm an awesome athlete and fellow. He's doing amazing things out there. All right, before I let you go, where can we catch you? We want to follow up on your activities.
Yeah, I'm on social media. People can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. I'm on all the social media platforms. Just look up my name, Jesse Iwuji. That's Jesse. Last name is Iwuji. You can find me on all of those platforms. I post pretty much each day, each week. If anyone has any questions on anything, just reach out, send me a message, and I can get it answered as soon as I get to the message. I get a lot of messages, so it might not happen in a day or two, but give me some time to get back to it. But everyone follow on there, comment on everything, like everything, share everything, support.
Yeah. Thank you, JC. Thank you. I want to say a very big thank you. And when we call on you again, you will respond to us so that we get this conversation going. Guys, thank you. We've been discussing with Jesse Iwuji. He has given us all his social media handles where we can catch up with him and follow up on his activity. I want to say a very big thank you. This is the Word Cafe live show, and I am your host, Amakri Iwuji. You know how we do it. We come in here to lean on one another, share experiences and, gain strength to move on. Till we come your way again, it's bye for now.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Before we sign off, I just want to encourage you. Yeah, it's been a wonderful time. And also, I'd like to hear from you, your feedback. You've been listening to the Word Cafe podcast. I would love to hear from you, the feedback. If you have any questions, you go ahead and ask those questions. You can reach me at my email address, amacrigaribaldi@gmail.com. Amacri is AMACHRGaribaldi@gmail.com. And we'll get back. You know how we do it on the show. Thank you. Awesome time it has been with you on the Word Cafe podcast today. Thank you for being there. You can catch me up on my social media handles, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all at Amakri Isoboye. Also, you can get copies of my books, A Cocktail of Words, The Color of Words, and my HR notebook on Amazon and on Robin Heights online bookstores. You can also subscribe to my YouTube page at the same address. Yes, till we see you again. Bye for now.